this is a box what I'm creating for the tutorial, what I mentioned to you. And we can just go through this and I will explain everything. So if you have a look down here, this is timeline. So it means everything what you do will be recorded in this timeline. And you can very easily just go there. You can double click, for example, and you can change it. So what you were doing, you can change it here. I will show you later. Super useful. Now, if you go to inspect, I always switch on this display component colors. That's why you can see these in different colors. If I hide top, you can see board is this color, this color, this color. And down here, you can see which feature I use to create which component. So based on the color, you can see it. Now, what is very important, when you open Fusion 360, you can start drawing, but don't do that. Always create component. So you just right click, new component, and what it will create this kind of thing. So you can see, for example, the first component which I created is this board. So I'm going to hide this blue one. And when you create a new component, I'm going to create it so you can see how it is done. Notice it is active. So this dot, it means you are working with this component, and everything what you will be doing will be related to this component. See, right now the timeline is empty because I'm only working with this component. If I select this component, see, these are all the features which I use to create this component. And this may be tricky to remember. When I was starting, I always forgot to switch between the components, and I recorded the features in different components, but you will get used to it.
So it'll still let you edit even though you haven't set something as active. So you can set one component as active and then work on the other one, for example. And that's
yeah, and then it's recorded into different component.
Oh, okay.
And and sometimes you can't easily move it. Theoretically, you should be able to drag and drop it, but it doesn't work always like that.
Okay.
The very first thing what you always would like to do is you use sketch. So I go to this other I'm basically redrawing this box, making it a little bit better. I will then explain a little bit more why. And if I go in timeline, I can move in timeline. So if you move in timeline, you can see how you were creating exactly. So when I move here, this is when I created the component. And when I move here, this is the sketch. So sketch is when you click on this. I go back again here into this temporary component. I can show you what the sketch is doing. I will disable this. So this is active. I'm going to create sketch. First, what you need to do is you need to select where you would like to draw. Sketch is only two-dimensional. So usually when you click on this home, it will orient the proper way. And then usually I draw on when I start, I draw on this one, X and Y. So I just click here. But you can draw sketch on any surface. So when you have a more complex design and you would like to draw it on specific surface, you can do it. I will show you later. And then notice this is a little bit different. So these are specific commands for sketch. And what I recommend, you can see here some selected commands, but always go inside and notice there are more options. So very often, for example, I don't draw this kind of rectangle. I draw rectangle from center because I would like to place it somewhere or I would like to move it. And I can draw something, let's say like this. And now you can write directly the dimensions, but I'm not going to do it because you can always do dimensions this way. So click here and you can just draw it. This is not this is right now it is telling you what is the dimension of this line, but what you can do when you click, you can rewrite it. For example, 5 millimeters, it will change. This is super useful because you don't have to keep measuring and drawing, but you can just select it and let's say this unit is 10 and it's 10.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say, oops, okay. Right now, this, you can move it everywhere you want, and this is not good. So if you would like to use these parameters, what I already mentioned, and relationship, you need to somehow specify the position of this. I'm going to hide this again. So ideally, you would like to decide on where is going to be your like fixed point. And I'm going to show you why it is important. So I'm going to move this. And I set the really important point here. You can see it. And I did it because everything is related to this point. So for example, when I would like to change some dimensions, I'm going to move this here, then everything will be moving from this point. For example, let's say I would like to change the box length. I'm going to change it to 69. Notice what will happen. See, this will be increased because it's counting the dimension. The box length is from this point to this point. If I would like to increase the width, it's this way, okay? If I would like to change the, for example, board size, see, and it automatically moves also these holders and everything. So it's very important where you decide on this point. And right now, when we are here, we would like to somehow position this square or this rectangle to this point. This is our important point. So what you can do, you can, for example, use these constraints. And let's say we would like to have middle of this rectangle in this line. So what you can do, you can use this coincident, or what is it? You select this point and oops, go away. I had maybe something selected. Okay, it's now selected, and I need to enable. Okay, I can see it. If you don't see these X and Y positions, you need to enable it because by default it is very often disabled, so you will not see it. And when I click here, see, it will position the square exactly where you would like to have it. And what you can do, you can again use something similar and place, for example, this here, and it's placed there. And now notice everything is black. It means if I try to move this, it's not going to move because it's related to this. And if I change dimensions, let's say I will put here 20, see, it's all related to this. And you can do actually these constraints. It's like super powerful. There are many constraints. If I draw another rectangle, or rectangle, let's say, when I use escape, it always shows up. So you can say like, we would like to have this together with this. Yeah, there are many videos where you can find how these constraints exactly work, or you can just experiment with it. And you can see it's touching this, but if it's still not black. So you can always move it and you can see what is not specified. So I know I need to specify, for example, dimension of this. So what you can do, you can take it from here to here, and let's say 15. Now it's black also this, see? If you specify also length of this, this is also black, and again, you can see what is still not specified. So we need to specify, for example, width of this. And then it will be fully, oops. See, now it's all black.
Okay.
And sketch is important because from sketch, then you can draw the 3D objects. So if you finish sketch, then you can select these surfaces, and you can, this is what I usually use, extrude, and you can just move it, or you can put there like 5, for example, and it will make the brick, or what is it? See? And notice the sketch disappears, so you have to make it visible again if you would like to continue drawing or doing something. And this is not, I'm going to disable this. Okay. I will explain what analysis is. If you would like to again draw this, you can just make this, let's say 3, and that's how you do it. You can create these 3D objects also directly here, a box, cylinder, sphere, but I don't really do it because for me it's much easier to draw the sketch based on dimensions and everything, and then just create the 3D objects rather than trying to make all these 3D features directly here.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Also, again, I don't know why this keeps showing. Can I move it somewhere? Okay, I can move it here. Perfect.
I don't even see it. Okay, it must be something.
I move it on different monitor.
Okay.
So let's go back here. I'm going back to this sketch. Only when you double click on the sketch, then you can edit it. If you finish, then you can see it's like this. So I double click. Only the thing about sketch is you will not see all these features which you used. Like when you are working with 3D features, then you can see all the features here. When you draw sketch, you only see this sketch. That's it would be great if there would be timeline also for the sketch, but yeah, it's okay. Notice when so this is for board. So first, what I did in this, I created the board because board is going to be something what I'm going to use as a reference for creating the box. You can import the board. You don't have to draw it. You can import 3D model and use it. And then based on the board, what I did, I created new sketch, but directly in the project. I told you do not use or do not create things directly in the project, but this is special sketch which is going to be used in multiple components. So I like to place it on the top of the project because this is going to reference how big the top lid is going to be, how big the bottom lid is going to be. So I really don't want to use sketch from bottom lid drawing the top lid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I created it in the top project. And again, so basically, if you have a look, this is the point when I created the simple board, like super simple. So I created the sketch. I put there few dimensions. I'm going to show you which of them. So everything is referencing to this point. And I just created basically 4 squares. So this is USB connector. This is the ESP module. This is PCB. And this is position. This is LED.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the to this extrude feature, and you can see I created PCB. So when I double click here, you can see what I did. I put the PCB distance minus PCB thickness. So these are parameters. If I go to modify and parameters, you can create some parameters where you put some numbers. Very often I use these parameters for numbers which are used in multiple places. So for example, like let's say tolerance, okay? I use tolerance in many different places. So I don't want to write everywhere 0.1, 0.1, 0, and then find out like I need different tolerance because my 3D printer instead of 0.1 needs 0.15. It's much easier just put it here and then you can change it later in one place.
Okay.
And here what I did, I also specified the PCB thickness. So if someone has different board, not ESP32, but the thickness is 1.7, and it would not fit if they use this 1.6, then they can very easily just change it here, and it will automatically adjust the thickness here of the PCB. Next, I created, this is the module, basically. Again, this is just extrude. You can see distance, module height. And I use the operation join. Here are a number of different operations, depends what you would like to do. Join, it means it will create the component and it will put them together. So if I go to these bodies, we still have one body. This is called body, this physical thing. And because I joined it, it's still one body. If I would create like new body, it would be like two different bodies. You will see later, I will show you. And this one, this is USB connector. I created it twice because it goes a little bit up and it goes also a little bit down. If I see, it goes also a little bit down. And this is the LED. I placed the LED exactly where it's on the board because I would like to have a hole in the enclosure. But as I said, you can just go to insert and you can import. You can insert mesh or something and you can just put it there. So I created the board and now I went and created the sketch on the top of the project because this is the sketch which is going to be used for the top and bottom of the lid. Again, if I double click on the sketch, again, this is the reference point. And you can see I moved the board a little bit down. So this is the tolerance because you would like to have a little bit spaces. You would like to be able to put the PCB inside of the box. So I put that tolerance 0.1 millimeter. And it's like super simple. Everything, this is fx, it means it's derivated from the parameters. So if I go, all of them are from parameters. Tolerance, this is the box length, box width. If I go to the parameters, you can see them here, okay? So this is the box inside width, box inside length, box bottom height, box top height. So these are the parameters which I used here. These features, so I only created this rectangle, which is here, this one. All these other rectangles, you can use feature which is called this offset. So if I will go back to our temp sketch, this one. So if you would like to use offset, then you can specify something and then it will automatically draw around it. I use it very often because you can very easily basically, go around the object. You don't have to redraw it manually. You just specify 1, or you can put here -1 and it will go around. Okay, so all this, what you can see here, this one, and this one, these are all created by offset. And I think you can see it here. Yeah, I think this is probably the offset feature. I don't know, maybe. And I use them because, so this is the inside of the box. This is going to be, there is like a rim or something on the box. So it looks like this. I will show you.
Yeah. Okay.
So this, because otherwise there would be like visible space. It doesn't look nice. That's why I created this way. Okay, so I finished this sketch. And then based on this sketch, I'm going to create new components. So you can see here, I created the bottom component. It has very similar color. It may be a little bit confusing. You can see this is purple and this is also like purple. It is this one. Oh yeah, this one. So this one is created also in the top. This is on the top, and this is the new. So in the top, I created new component which is called bottom. This one, and now I'm drawing in the bottom. This is the yellow. So what I did, I basically used the sketch which I created here. I selected everything. When I double click, you can see what is selected. See, everything is selected, and I just use again this extrude feature, and it's minus box bottom height. So if I would like to change the height of this, I can simply just go to parameters and bottom box height. I change it, let's say, to 19. Yeah, and it's now deeper. And everything should be still okay. If I move it, see, everything still referenced correctly. I did it this way because if there are pins or something, you can make it deeper, and then you can have there also the pins and connectors with it. I'm going to put it back so I don't forget. Okay, let's go here. So as I said, I selected everything, and if I'm going to hide this, it looks like this. It is just a brick basically, and then in the second step, I created the hollow inside. So in the second step, I selected only this, and it created the hollow. Next, I created sketch on the bottom of this. Okay, so basically, once you have something created, I go back to test. So once you have something created, you can use sketch on top of this. So let's say I would need another rectangle or circle, maybe somewhere here. 4 millimeters. Can finish sketch. It's on the top, see, and I can just put it up, or you can make hole or something. See, now it's automatically changed to cut. If I do it this way, there is hole, and if I just move it up, I'm going to change it to join, and it's now this. And again, notice the equation. I use minus box bottom height plus the wall thickness. And I did it this way because then when you change the parameters, the thickness of the bottom will be still exactly the same. This may be, it may look a little bit confusing or maybe too complicated, but it's super useful if you would like to adjust the size of the box. If you don't do it this way, it's going to break.
No, it definitely makes sense. I had seen that before from a colleague who did that in SolidWorks, so it's vaguely familiar. But yeah, that it's almost like programming, I guess, where you have to
Yeah, you actually need to think a lot ahead and also think about how to do it properly. And couple of times I have to redesign the things which I started designing because otherwise they are like complete mess.
Okay.
Okay, so I created the sketch. The sketch looks like this. So there is in the middle, I created this kind of support. So on the board, on the bottom, there are no components on the ESP32. So I just make it, I will show you how it looks. Looks like this. Okay, so this is the support, and the board basically lies on the support. And again, notice how it is specified. So I'm going to, you can always hide everything. Again, I specified the position of this square, and and then it means even this depends on size of the board, so it always moves in the middle of the board. If you have a look, this is board length /2.
Yeah.
You can very often also I will then explain. So just finish this. And I specified this support. I specified these holders for the board. Originally, I didn't have this holder. Originally, you can see the board actually fits exactly into the box, but see, like this. But I posted on Reddit. I mentioned you last time that sometimes I post on Reddit to double check.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so this is what I posted on Reddit.
Oh, cool.
I created video about how I was 3D printing this box, and so one of the things what people mentioned, ventilation holes. So I'm going to add holes. It's not really necessary for ESP32, but as you can see, basically you can put there any board. So it may be useful for some people, and also some people, they would like to have access to these GPIOs. That's why I basically created the extra space around the board so people can put their sensors or something, or solder something else.
Okay.
So original board was only like this, but now I'm trying to create it board inside of a box. So this support, and this is for latches. So basically, ESP32, it doesn't have holes for screws. So what I had to do, I had to come up with idea how to close the top and bottom together. So it looks something like this. I'm going to show you. I did something like this.
Okay.
So this is fixed on the top, and then you can just put it together and it will clap together.
Cool. Okay.
So here I'm just creating the openings in the bottom for the latches. Okay, now in the next step, I need to show bodies. So in the next step, I created this support in the middle. Again, the height is based on the parameters, so it keeps changing when the bottom height is changed. Next, I created the holes, and this is going to be interesting feature. So I created this only in one place, and then you can use pattern or mirror features to move it around. And I do it only in one place because it's easier. You can specify dimensions only for this, and then you can just copy it. So basically what I did, this is just so first I'm going to show you what I did. So this is the pattern feature. If you go to create pattern, you have different kind of patterns. So this is rectangular pattern, what I'm using here, or you can use circular or this. So if you have a look, what I did here, I use object type. You can use different types, bodies, faces, or features. So I used features. It means I could select these two features, what I was doing here in timeline, and then it copies these two features based on what is specified here. So because if I use bodies, what I would specify here are no bodies. These are just holes. Yeah. So what I did, I selected features, and then here I was doing this, and I was doing this. So press. That's what I selected. Control. Press Control. I selected two features. I'm going to cancel this now. And then here you can specify quantity. So you can see, again, this is a parameter here. So I can go and change parameters like I would like to have, let's say, 3 of these. So if I have a very long box, I can put there more latches and it will nicely adjust this. So this is one direction, this is the second direction. You can even move in here. You can see what is happening. See, this is changing here, or you can see this is changing here. And here are two options. You can do it based on spacing. So I'm doing it based on spacing. This is spacing, so distance between this and this. Or you can do it like you put their whole dimension and it will just split it automatically into the sections based on the number what you put there. I'm going to cancel this. Okay, so I hope it's still okay.
Yeah.
I didn't change it. And let's go back to this plane. So as you notice, when we were drawing the sketch, we use these planes which are here automatically. But what you can do, you can actually specify additional planes. So in this construct, you can specify planes in different places. So in this case, I use this one, this offset plane. And I use it because I wanted to see how it looks. Because normally it looks like this. And I would not be able to see inside of the box. So what I did, I used this analysis. It is in inspect, section analysis. And I will show you here how it looks. Again, in our test. So if I go here, let's say we would like to see section somewhere here. So I can get offset plane. I can hide this. So this is the plane. Let's say I can move it like, I don't know, 1 millimeter. Doesn't matter. I'm going to enable the bodies. And if I go to inspect section analysis, and I'm going to select this plane. To enable it. So here it is. So this is the analysis what we created. What you can do, you can even freely like move it. You can see what is inside. But I like to create the planes because I calculate the position of the plane and then it's easy to select the where the analysis should be. So when in this case, when I change dimensions of this box, I always would like to select this plane so I can see exactly in the middle how it looks. Because for some reason it will not refresh automatically. I can show you if so this is the analysis open. If I change the box width to 57. Oh, it moved. They fixed it. Okay. Because it would not move if you don't have it reference to this plane. Cool. Super. Move. I'm going to put it back. Inside with 47, I think. It works. Perfect. So always when you would like to see what is inside, you can use the analysis and you can specify the additional planes. You can use them even for sketches or something if you need them. Then we were talking about this. This is the pattern. The next one is what? Okay, so the next, I created this holder for the PCB. It was created based on the sketch. So this is the sketch what we created before. You can always actually go back to sketch and you can change it. So when I created this sketch originally, it was only the box. And later when I was working on this feature, I just went back to this sketch and also draw this holder. So you don't have to draw everything at once at the
Okay.
beginning, because you will not know anyway what everything you need. So everything what I had to do, I had to just, in this feature, when I double click here, you can see I just selected it and I said the distance is going to be the height of the bottom of the box. Now we would like to have it in all four corners. So what I did, I used the mirror feature, because theoretically you could try to use these other features, but it will not do it properly, because we not only need to move it, we also need to rotate it. So that's why I use the mirror feature. And to be able to mirror this to the other side, what I did, I created this additional offset plane again, so I could use it to mirror based on this plane. So I created it, and this is the next one is the mirror feature. Again, you can see I just selected what I would like to mirror, and then I just selected the mirror plane, and it created it here. And notice when I created this, I created it as a new body. So in bodies now, when I move it, when I go behind this feature, you can see we have two bodies. So this is the big box, and this is just this holder. And I did it because you can easily manipulate with this body. You can easily mirror it. If we would join this, then it would be only whole box, and you would not be able to mirror it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mirrored here, and then we had to mirror it again also on the other side. So this is another mirror feature. And the next I needed to create.
Sorry, but you wouldn't then join those four little holders together. You just
You
keep them.
can, if you like, you can join them, but it's not really necessary. Because when you 3D print this, it will be printed correctly like one body.
Okay, but as in like the organization within your. I mean, I guess it doesn't really. It's up to preference, I guess, right?
If you like, you can do it. Sometimes I do it if there are like too many of them. I just joined it, but you can also group them. You can, I think, you can create like a group.
Oh.
Yeah, move to group. So you can call them like, I don't know, PCB holders, and put all of them there. It can be useful because I don't know, maybe in future you need to work only with this one component or one holder, then you can still move it. Once you join it, it's difficult to split it again.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, the last thing what I needed to do here, I need to disable the analysis, is this. This is for screwdriver to open the box, because otherwise it would be difficult. So basically it's this hole here. So you can put a screwdriver to open it, because once you put it together, it's not easy to disassemble.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the bottom. I don't have top on this one. I only started working on this today afternoon. So we can move to the finish box. So once I had the bottom, I started working on the top. I'm going to disable it. So again, top is created based on the sketch, which is here. Oh, not this one. This one, which is directly in the project. So this is the box dimensions, and very similar as before. You can see I just use this extrude, put it up, then created the hole inside, then created sketch on. I need to enable it so we can see it. I created sketch because I wanted to create the holes for the latches, and this is a little bit special. It's purple because you can use feature which is called project. So basically you can project edges and objects from other components to sketches of somewhere else. So if I would like to see, for example, where are these edges of the box, you can just go here and you can project this, okay? And you don't have to draw it. If I hide this body, it's there, see?
Mm-hmm.
But this can sometimes make problems if you would like to again change something like it may mess up with referencing, because sometimes these projected edges are not projected correctly when you change size, for example, of this box. That I don't like to use it like too much, but it can be useful if you are not going to change it. Or sometimes it may work. I don't know when it doesn't work. Sometimes it may work fine, but in this new box, I try do not use this projected stuff, because in this one, some of the stuff is broken. But it's useful feature otherwise.
Okay.
So I'm going to finish this. I will go back. So, okay. Okay, next, what I did, I created the hole maybe. Okay, so next I just created the rim or frame, or what is it? I don't know how it is called. Then I created the hole. I'm going to enable the analysis so you can see what is happening. Okay, I created, this is the hole, this is sketch. So inside of this hole, oh, I needed another hole for filament. So basically, I'm not sure. I'm going to play the video so you can see how I'm doing this. It looks like this. So I put the latch there, and then I put a filament inside of the hole to hold it there properly.
Okay.
So I created the hole, and I, as you can see, I created the sketch. Where is the sketch created? I don't know what is the reference plane for this sketch. Okay, I don't know where I created it, but in the new one, I'm using this offset plane for everything. Is what I'm planning, because as I said, you can draw directly, you can create sketch directly on these faces, but then sometimes it's then tricky to reference to them.
Okay.
So I created the hole. Now again, so this is the extrude feature, and now I use the extrude feature to object. So I didn't specify directly the distance, but what you can do, you can also say like, I will show you. If I select this object, I can delete this one, and I can say, let's say up here. See, it will create the hole up here. Or I can select this, and it will only do it there. So this can be useful. Again, if you use mirrored features or something else, sometimes it doesn't behave exactly as you would like to have it, but it can be useful. So right now it's only up to this. And also what I wanted to say, be very careful when you are using, for example, cut feature, then here you can see where everywhere the hole is going to be. Sometimes may happen you may have more components enabled, and it will cut through number of components or bodies. So be careful, because sometimes I created these holes and then I enabled everything and I had holes in the other components.
Okay.
Now it's simple again, mirror feature and then mirrored again. So again, I only created this once and mirrored this. Theoretically, you can draw or you can use mirror features also in Sketch. So if you go here, you can see here is mirror, pattern, and everything. But as I said before, in Sketch, you don't have timeline, so you can't go back and change the parameters. So basically, if I use mirror or this pattern feature in Sketch, I can specify where I would like to place it, but I can't go back and change it later if I would like to change it. So it's much better to do all these mirror and pattern and features in 3D view. By the way, if you move view here, you can click look at, and it will again show you the sketch as you have it. You can also draw in Sketch in 3D. Sometimes it may be useful, but I'm not going to show it now because that would be just confusing. And I use this a lot, this home. Okay, so we created, we mirrored this. Now, what is this? Okay, so I pulled down the frame. And now we are going to create the holes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable this because we are here. And top. Okay. Where is this? Profiles. Okay. So I think its reference is to one of these existing sketches. Which one it is? Here, when you click on sketch, here you can see in timeline it will be selected. So it's here. So basically in this step, I created another sketch, which is here on side of this box, and it is to create the openings for the USB cable. So I specified this is opening directly only around the USB connector, and this is around the whole cable, because there is this metal part and then there is the plastic part, and usually you have like maybe 1 millimeter which is between board and the edge of the header, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, like between the shrouds of the...
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I created two squares, and now you will see actually how I created the holes. So first I created the hole through both boxes, and now you can see it's cutting between the bottom and top. And if I disable top, you can see it cutting through whole board. So this is the metal part of the connector, and now I created the part which is for the plastic, and you can see it doesn't go through. It only goes here, and this is, I think, like 1 millimeter. You can always use this if you like, and you can measure it. It will tell you 0.8 millimeter. Yeah, so if you need to measure something, click here and measure.
So for that cut you did to that surface, minus the distance.
Yeah, I don't know, I think, yeah, wall thickness and
Okay.
plus 0.8. That's
Mhm.
what I just specify directly. I think it's like 1 millimeter maybe what you have there. So I just put there 0.8 because 0.4 is the head of my 3D printer. So it's like 2 lines, 0.8.
Okay.
Okay, and then next one is the top. So this is going to be the tricky part. So basically, on the bottom of this, there are a number of objects. I'm going to enable everything so you can see it when it is finished. I'm going to disable these sketches. So when it is finished, there are a number of different objects. On the bottom, to hold the PCB, there is only one piece, but on the top I placed these two because otherwise there are components, and I was not sure what is going to be height of the components. So I placed support about the USB header and about the module.
Mhm.
So if I would enable the board, and if I enable Analyses, I think maybe this one, here you can see this supposed to be here. Ignore it's moved because I was on Reddit. One of the guys, he told me like he really would like to have this box for his specific board. So I adjusted few things to send him 3D model of this box for him. So I moved this. But otherwise it's supposed to be directly above, but I'm going to change it so you can see how it can be done. Is it this one? Top. I don't know which sketch it is. In this sketch. It's not this one. And this one. This is the sketch. Ideally, you would like to name them. When you name them, then you can easily find which one is which. But I changed this. I think this should be like 1 or not 1, 4 maybe. Or and now when we have a look and when we enable the board, okay, maybe even less. Which one was it? This is why you would like to have everything parameterized, and in this new box I have it done correctly, so this doesn't move when I change the length of the board, but
Mhm.
this is wrong. This should not
Okay.
be happening. And also you can see, for example, these purple, these are the projections, and you can see they are not really reflecting the edges because they didn't move correctly when I
Mm.
move the edges. And this green one, it means I think there are a number of colors: green, yellow, and purple. And I don't know which one, if it's green or yellow, it means it lost the reference. So again, this is projection, and I think it's lost its reference from somewhere. That's why you may want to be careful about these projections.
Okay.
It may work sometimes, but sometimes not. Okay, so where we finished? We were somewhere here. So this is This is the support for USB, this is support for the module. In the next step, again, this is the extrude feature for the module support. This is the extrude feature. I can disable this for the USB connector. This is okay. So basically on this, I also created this text. So you can go and create text. And when I double click, you can see this is the text. You can change font and everything. And then what you can do, you can basically select this text, and you can also do the extrude feature with this. So what I did, you can see I embossed the text. When I disable these sketches, you can see it is embossed inside of the box. So it is just pulled down minus 0.5 millimeter. Next, this is another sketch. I don't know why there is another sketch. Which one is this? Oh, okay. This is the hole for the pipe. I think this can be done also on this sketch. I don't know why I have another sketch here. It could be easily drawn on this one. And this is basically for the LED. So what I did, again, if I go to my Reddit, I will show you what I did. This one. So I used clear filament to basically use it as a light guide or light pipe. So I created something like this. I will show you. There is the hole, and I just put here the light filament, the clear filament, and it's on the top of the LED, and it's really cool.
That's a cool idea. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing, and I was like, oh, I could use the filament, because before I only had the LED under the cover, and I could still see it's on because it's like 1 millimeter thick, so you can see a little bit reddish stuff. But then when I come up with this idea, it just worked. It's really cool. I have a picture
That's really neat,
from
yeah.
this. Oh, I
That's
think
really
it's
cool.
on. It looks like this.
That's very cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. And do you glue it in a tiny bit, or you just make that?
It's just the right size. I didn't have to glue it. I could, but I didn't have to.
Mhm. And
And
what
the last,
material did you use for the box?
sorry,
The box you just showed, the white one, what material did you use?
I use PETG
Okay.
because I find it like really easy to print, and it doesn't smell.
Okay.
What do you use?
Normally just, I mean, I've got a pretty crappy printer, so I think it's just PLA, it's very old. I don't know, what printer do you have? Because I was thinking of upgrading it sometime as well.
Creality. It's the cheapest. I was surprised. It was like $200, and it's like,
Creality, okay.
wow. I created video on this some time ago. This one. If you watch this video, then I explained what I have and also what I set up. I had to set up everything, how to calibrate and everything. And I'm telling you, it's super cheap.
Okay, very cool, thank you. I'll have a look at that.
Okay, you would like to $200. I think they have even new and better version now, because I had to buy extra the BLT, what is it, bed leveler
Oh
or
yeah.
something. Some people told me they have a new version of this, including also the other feature. And I was, because I had before, I had printer for like $1,000, and it was bad, like really bad. And I learned some stuff like this auto leveling. I really would like to have it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Do you have it?
I haven't used it in ages, so I can't really remember, but I need to bring it out. I think it's just gathering dust at the moment. And
So
I think it's very, very basic, so I don't think it even has that.
when you
It's
learn this Fusion 360, you will use it all the time.
Yeah, definitely. It's very cool so far. Yeah, I mean the commands you show, it's a lot of the same ones, but I think just getting to grips with the whole workflow, right? The
Yeah,
process.
the workflow is important,
Yeah.
because when I was starting with this, there was no one to explain me like what is the sketch, how I use it, how it works, how I should create these components, how I should reference this. So I had to learn it the hard way.
Okay, no, but I mean it's a really cool skill to have. Yeah, that's awesome.
We are almost finished. If you have a look, basically there are a couple of commands only left.
Hmm.
So I created, what is this? Mm. Oh, okay. No, what I did. Oh, so this is the opening for the screwdriver. This was mirrored. So this is cool feature. If we enable also bottom, it's this fillet.
Hmm.
You can make the box nicer, and you can see I applied it on top and bottom. So again, if you have a look, so basically when I was creating this, I had this enabled, the top
Okay.
project, and I did same also here. So this, I think it's this feature. See these corners here, and it's very simple. Um, you just select the corners and you set what you would like to have it.
Okay.
And this is what. Oh, this is new component for the letters. And this is sketch. So if you have a look on this sketch for the letters, again, I use the this purple, or what is it? What kind of color? I use the project feature, and basically what I did, then I use this offset feature, and so I can show you. Yeah, but I did it the other way. It just I made these letters a little bit smaller so I can glue them on the top.
Mm.
I could print them in different color, but it was easier for me just paint it. Again, I will show you the video so you see what I'm talking about. So if I play this, oops, this is how I painted it, and then I just glue in here. Because some time ago, what I did, I tried to paint inside of these letters. It didn't look nice.
Okay.
So I just printed them, painted, and glued. And it
Very
looks really
cool.
cool. If you have a look, it's like, you know,
That's very
structure
nice.
and nice.
That is very cool. And PTEG, you said, right? Was
Yeah,
the
PETG. I use verbatim PETG.
Mhm.
So these are the letters. This is the extrude feature on letters. So if I disable this and enable letters, okay, if I go before, no letters. Now there are the letters, and I glued them. So what I didn't mention, sometimes you create the components in places where they are this box was created everything on top of each other as it's going to be assembled. But sometimes you create the components in different place, not where it is assembled. Or sometimes these components can move. For example, these ESP32 letters, they are not created where they're supposed to be. They are created on the top of the box. See, they are created on this level where on the top of the box, and they're supposed to be a little bit, I'm going to show you, see, they're supposed to lie down here. So what I did, I used this assemble feature, this joint, and there are this will enable you to specify relationship between the components. So in this joint, basically what I did, I only specified that it lies down here. But what you can do, you can even specify like movements. I can try it. Well, let's try it. But first, let's finish these few commands which are still here. So the next one is offset. This is sometimes a very useful feature. So what I did, I discovered that the box, I need to show it from different angle. So I discovered that this wall is doesn't look very nice because it was very thin, and basically when I 3D printed this, then I could see like the kind of edges of these openings for the latches. So what I did with this offset feature, you can select faces and you can expand them. So have a look. So basically I can disable the so basically what you can do, you can move them like this. See, I only selected these faces which are here, and you can move it. It's very useful sometimes.
Okay.
And then this is new component. Oh, okay, this is the pipe. It was very simple. I wanted to have it there. It's here because I wanted to know what is the length of the pipe when I'm cutting this from the filament. So I created also 3D model for this. Okay, let's talk about the joints. So I'm going to experiment with this. I don't have it ready because it's not necessary for this one, but I'm going to disable letters and this. I'm going to enable bottom. Okay, so we have these two parts, the bottom and top. And if you would like to put movements into your project, then you have to specify which one is on the ground. So let's say this bottom, I use right click, is the ground. I select it as ground. Okay, if you don't do it, then you can move it because it has to know which one is on the ground and move everything around.
Okay.
And then what I can do, I can go to assemble, join, and let's say we would like to use this and this. Here you can specify motion. I'm going to use the Revolve. See?
Okay.
It moves. But I specified the wrong way. So what I can do. So notice on this one, I specified here. So on this one, I'm going to also specify it here. So it is in the same place. And we would like to move it a different way, I guess. Not this one. This one. See? And you can also specify the minimum and maximum.
It's pretty cool. Okay.
Let's say 90. Okay, minus 90 maybe. And you can animate it. And then you can move it. I don't remember how you can move it.
I think the limit's just set to both minus 90. I think it automatically snapped to something.
Mm. Hmm? I use...
It just suddenly
okay, sorry. You are
yeah,
right. Okay.
just suddenly
Um,
just together.
I don't know why.
Okay, that's weird that they changed together.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. Okay. Maybe now it...
That's odd.
I have no idea
Okay.
what is happening. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
okay.
now I should be able to move it, I think. I will show you then a different project what I did.
Mhm.
Okay, it still moves, so we should be able to move it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, it works. See,
Okay, that's cool.
you just need to hold it somewhere and then move it. And I can show you where I use this. I have different project. Is it this one? So I was doing this robotic eye based on which should follow faces based on
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. That was
yeah. So I use the movements here, and you can see you can like it's super cool. And you can animate it, everything. And we even didn't speak about this, but if you go here, you can do animations, you can do rendering and make it nicer. So basically, what you can do, you can go and you can put there, I don't know, material, for example, appearance. You can, I think you can do it on the body, and you just find here, I don't know, wood. Let's say like this, and you just put it here, and
okay.
then you can put it also on the top and bottom. And then if you go to animation, oh no, animation, sorry, render, it will look like wood.
That's pretty cool.
And here you can select where you would like to have light and everything. And the rendering, it takes a little bit of time. So you will see it as a wood in the edit view if you like, but when you do rendering, then it's like it's supposed to be nicer.
Okay, very cool.
You can, for example, you can make the pipe clear, then
Mhm.
it looks
That's
cool.
very cool. Does that work? I mean, for example, if you import a PCB, I guess you could assign different materials. I don't know
I don't
how.
know if it works on meshes because when you import PCB, I think it's going to be like mesh. It's not going to be like these proper objects, fusion
Okay,
objects.
yeah. No, that's very
Uh,
cool.
but now it looks like, I don't know. But now see, it keeps rendering because it
Yeah,
always only creates the nice view for the one specific set what you create.
yeah. That's
And
very cool.
here are the lights. You can set the brightness. You can move camera somewhere else. I don't know. I really didn't play much with this. And animations, basically, oh, now I have to remember. So how it was done. I think you like. I don't remember. Huh. Okay, it recorded, I think now. See? Oh, where is it?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where is the panel. Okay, it's back. So always when you do something, it will record it. I move it, for example, here, and let's say like this, it will record it.
Okay.
And you can play it. How did I play it?
The play button right at the bottom in the middle.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. It's quite cool.
And you can also, I should be able to move this. I don't know. No, I don't remember. Just play with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool for video or something.
Yeah.
And that's it. So these are like the basic features. We could go through all these, but it's not really necessary. I can tell you what I use. So I use extrude a lot. You could see it. Revolve is very useful when you create objects. When I was drawing the wand, you remember the wizard wand? It is basically like circle. So you can draw the whole profile and then you revolve it.
Okay. Okay.
Sweep is good if you have like wireframes or something. If you are creating something from a wire, then you can use it. It's very similar to pipe. Pipe is also, so you just draw a line and then you can apply this pipe, and instead of line you will have like wire.
Okay.
Loft is good if you have two different shapes and you need to connect them together. You can see here is, for example, square connected with circle. It will create objects which connects them together. I have never used this. RIP. Emboss, I play with emboss, but you can find tutorials on this. Hole can be useful. So in this example, I created hole through drawing, but you can actually create holes. I will show you. So I'm going to, let's say, create hole somewhere. And you can specify what kind of hole you would like to have, and then depth. And this can be useful when you create holes for screws, for example. Then what I used thread, because you can very easily print threads and you can connect pieces together.
Cool.
I almost never use these. Sphere, I use sphere because you can really create sphere from Sketch if I need. Then I have to use it this way. I have never used this. I use Coil. I use patterns a lot. We were talking about this mirror. I have never used these other features. Modify. So press pull. This is very similar to offset. Basically, it's you select face and you can make it bigger or smaller. Fillet, we use this. Chamber is basically fillet but flat, not rounded. Some people use this. I never really use this. I use scale when I import objects. For example, PCB. Sometimes something is in mils, something is in millimeters. You have to somehow convert it. Combine. So when you have existing objects, this is exactly what you could use if you would like to the PCB holders if you would like to make one object from them together with the box, and so you can combine it. I have not used this. I split face sometime or split body, depends if it's like super complicated 3D model, then I may do that. Move copy. This is tricky feature. So basically what you can do, I will show you in this. Where is our temp project or temp component? Did I delete it or I don't remember. Did I delete the component what we created?
I don't think you did, but I can't.
Oh, it's not enabled here. It's maybe here. Okay, here is the test. So what you can do, you can select objects or bodies or something. You can select this, create copy, and it will create copy. But these numbers which are here, they will not be remembered. Or basically, you can use them as parameters or something once, but if you change, for example, box size, it will still only remember the original value. It will not move it based on the parameters.
Okay.
So I try do not use this too
Mhm.
much. This why I rather use the pattern features or mirror features. But this can be sometimes useful. Later you will find out which features doesn't work well or which are not connected. And these are like nothing special. So physical material is for simulations, I think. So you would put there like glass or metal or wood, but it will not change appearance. If you would like to change appearance, you need to use this, okay?
Mhm.
So I showed you, you can find any materials here and you simply just drag and drop it on the object and you will have it. It will have this appearance. Like, let's say glass, blue one. Yeah, now it's like blue glass. It doesn't look nice here in this design, but if you go to the rendering, then it will look nicer. Okay, so here are the parameters, which I really use a lot. Then assemble, I use mostly this. Some people use also this one. I don't know exactly what is difference, but I use mostly these joints and then rigid or movement. Construct, very often I use this offset plane, but sometimes you may want to use like tangent planes or something if you have like round objects inside of the model what you are drawing. Inspect, so measure, just you can use it to measure the things, and I use this display colors and the section analysis. I don't use anything else from this. Insert, I use insert mesh, so you can see STL object. So these are what you can import.
Mhm.
So usually STL would be the PCB board.
Okay.
But as I said, when you import it, it will be like mesh, and it means it doesn't look like this. It's created from like many small faces, like triangles or something. You can somehow import it properly or something, but some of these features are only in paid version of Fusion 360.
Okay.
And this selection, sometimes I use these selections. So default is window if you need to select something. So if I go, let's say here, so default is like this. But sometimes when you have very complicated objects, it can be better when you paint or when you draw like this. Yeah, now or
Mhm.
like this. so it can be useful. And what else I use? So I have never used these other things which are here: sheet metal, mesh. So mesh is when you import the PCB, for example, and you would like to do some adjustment, and you would use this mesh. I don't really use this surface. When you use surface, basically the objects will be hollow. It's just the faces which are created. They are not really like full objects.
Okay.
And I don't know these others. That's it.
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you very much. That's very cool. I mean, I definitely need to have a play around and then also whip out the old 3D printer. Because I have some, I mean, particularly what I'd be also really interested in is face plates or what do you call them? Yeah, like front and rear panels.
Front panel, yeah.
So what I usually, for my designs, I'll just sketch it out and then make them as PCBs, the front and rear panels, and I'll just buy, a Hammond enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
But actually doing it properly, I think that'd be really interesting as well. Maybe also for a video. How do if you have your PCB with maybe, some connectors, and how do you make the front and rear panels in Fusion?
Yeah, I don't know if I made video about this. I didn't probably. I used something when I was creating video for Raspberry Pi. Maybe I have there something. I will. This one. When I was doing this one, so there are a number of connectors. Cursor over, but
Okay.
I don't remember if I imported the. Oh, I see. I didn't import the 3D model. I created 3D model. But for my own board, I imported 3D model, and based on the 3D model, I created the openings. Because again, what you can do, you can put there, you can do the project feature. So the project feature will actually tell you where exactly are the connectors, and then you can use the offset feature to create opening around the connector.
Okay. That's pretty cool. No, I definitely have to try. I'm definitely going to try out making a box because I have some PCBs that need enclosures. So that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
No problem. I hope this gave you at least some kind of general idea how it works, and now you just will need to watch some specific features when you try to figure out how they work.
No, definitely. I mean, it's very helpful because initially I didn't want to touch Fusion because I was like, oh, there's so much to learn. I don't know where to start. But I think that's really useful. Also, seeing that, yeah, you have like a handful of commands, but then you can do quite a lot with those.
Yeah,
With just figuring out, as you say, like doing parametrics and then figuring out that workflow.
yeah.
But
I will actually finish this other box, and I will make like step-by-step tutorial drawing this box. So basically anyone can actually watch what I will be doing. It will be something similar what we were talking about right now, but they will actually see how it is done.
that's very cool. No, that's awesome. I definitely need to give that a try. I'll send you a picture of my first, hopefully not failed attempt.
Try and buy the new 3D printer. It's
Definitely.
it's
Creality,
super
right?
cool.
It was Creality
Yeah,
Ender.
yeah.
That's awesome. I'll
For
definitely.
$200, I was like, wow.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, because I have no, because there's so many on the market, I wouldn't have an idea. But there's a new one, right? Ender 5.
There is what they told me. I'm going to have a look. So they told me, I think it was this Neo,
Okay.
which I think should have also, see, it has the CR Touch built in, so you don't have to buy it extra.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what people told me to buy now. If you go to the video, maybe there are some comments. here, for example.
Ender 3 V3 Neo. Okay, very cool.
I think a couple of people mentioned they bought it.
Ender 3 V1 or Ender
This
3.
is not, this one is saying do not buy, but basically what I did later, I also bought, I'm going to show you what I bought, this new extruder, because when I was experimenting with different materials, the original extruder only goes up to like 260, something like this, and it starts melting, 250 maybe.
Okay.
So I bought this one, and it's better. It has also better fan, but if you are just starting, you don't need to upgrade, because the best is play the cheapest thing, and then you find out what you would like to upgrade.
Okay.
But maybe the Neo, maybe it has better. I don't
Okay.
think it has better.
I
It's
just wouldn't
same.
know
I
what
think
to
this
pay
is the
attention
same head. What is on the original one? Have a look on this one. I think people mentioned this one is good.
to. Okay. Very cool.
And also what I like, for example, this build plate on my original printer, it didn't want to stick, or it was stuck too much and I couldn't remove it from the plate. This printer has special plate, so when it cools down, you can simply just pick it up. It will like unglue itself.
Okay, that's very cool.
I don't know what build plate you use in your printer. I don't know.
I honestly I have no idea anymore what it actually. I only did a couple very simple prints, some small enclosures and little parts, and that was 2, 3 years ago. So I need to, yeah, because I never tried, I think, making my own parts. So with this now, I'll definitely give it a go.
It was same for me. Before I started using Fusion 360, I had the 3D printer, but I almost never used it. And once I learned this, and once I bought the new 3D printer, and I find out like it just works, then I just started printing everything. My
Okay,
daughter, she has like shelf full of 3D printed toys.
cool. Okay, that's very cool. And you use one of these, right? You said like the previous version.
Yeah,
Okay.
only what I bought was the Sear Touch, because do you know what is the auto leveling?
Is it because the bed isn't straight or something?
Exactly. So basically what happened after a couple of prints, if you don't have this, uh, it may be a little bit it's not maybe completely flat, and it means first layer may not stick correctly. So it may stick in some places and it will not stick in other places, and it's really bad. If it doesn't stick, it's really bad, because then it's going to be damaged. The print is going to be damaged. And if you have this Sear Touch or the auto leveling, before every printing, it checks 6 points, and I think it mathematically somehow corrects the model what you are printing, so it knows exactly like how to
Very cool.
correct it, and it always prints flat. It's
And that's
super
called Sear
useful.
Touch. Okay,
I
that's
don't
very
know
cool.
why they call it Sear Touch, but that's how it is called.
Okay. No, thank you. That's awesome. I will, as soon as we're done, I'll be buying one of these, and then then I'll try and make an enclosure. That's really cool.
Okay, then let me know. I'm very curious. And if you need any help, just ask me. Or if you like, watch this video what I created, because I covered there a lot of stuff what I had to figure out, and maybe you can find it also useful.
I'm surprised, just on the side of that, it doesn't have like it's because that video would seem with the title that that has loads more views.
Uh, the audience what I have, they don't watch these 3D videos.
Okay, okay. But you share it on Reddit, or how did you?
Not this one,
Okay,
but uh, creating box, that's different. The box videos, they actually have, I think, the Arduino box. It has like over 100,000. I don't remember.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Not bad.
it has
Okay.
over
Yeah.
100,000. So these box videos, they are popular, but just 3D printing, no.
Okay. Okay. That's very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a try. And then also the filament you said, that clear filament idea was really cool as well with your light pipe.
Yeah, I use verbatim PETG, this kind of filament. I use it. You need to be careful. This is big one. So I use 1 point. This is our local shop, so don't worry. But I use verbatim. I use same brand always because once you know how it prints, what kind of temperature you have to set and everything, then you always use exactly same settings. If you buy different material, then you need to play with it. They have different properties and they print a little bit differently.
Okay.
This is the clear
And you
filament.
use 1.75.
Yeah, but it depends what kind of printer you have. But the one what I have is 1.75, and see,
Okay.
it's like 20 euros. I
Hmm.
had this one because I had it for the wizard wand. I wanted the LED to,
Okay.
so I bought transparent. But then I bought also the white one, and I like this one because you can paint it. My daughter, she likes to paint all the toys what I print.
And was that the one you used for the ESP32 case?
I use this white, and for the light I use the clear one, this one.
Okay.
So if you just search for this,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you go on the verbatim, yeah, so
Okay.
they
Yeah.
have all the kind of,
There
you
as well.
can, here you can select the clear. They tell you exactly this number, so you can just search for this number then and buy
Okay.
it based on this number.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Seems more expensive in Germany as well.
Is it
Like, what was yours? Like 17, 18 euros or
20? Yeah.
okay, it's like 25 or more. Yeah.
But maybe this is without VAT. So if you add
Ah,
VAT, then it will be a little bit more.
okay. Okay. Awesome. That's really cool.
But
Well,
it's
thank you.
still not expensive. It's the box is like, I don't know, a few cents.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I really that's really cool. It's given me motivation to try it out again. So that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm very happy to help. If you print something, let me know.
Definitely. I will definitely share it and show this is my first thanks to you, first print.
Okay.
That's very cool. Yeah, because I've got this FPGA board lying around here, so that needs a case, needs a home. So I think I should be simple enough to start with. Let's see.
Yeah, it should not be difficult. I've done a couple of things. If you have a look, so this is the ESP box what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
This is the wizard wand. I printed the holder for brushes because uh, the original one, it always the mold keeps growing there. So I
Mhm.
created this one so it doesn't touch, and it's like super useful. So this is the Arduino, this is the Raspberry Pi. I use this every day. So this
Cool.
is like wallet, and it's really cool.
That's awesome.
I use also this.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I feel like there's never enough time in the day. There's so much cool stuff to make and do.
I agree. But that's why I really enjoy creating these latest videos when I decided like create simple projects, and because it doesn't take much time, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah. I can imagine. No, that's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
Okay, so,
I
so
will
play with it.
thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for your time.
No
I
problem.
will let you know how I get on with a new printer, hopefully next week. Let's see how long it takes. That's
Okay,
awesome.
if you need any help, let me know. Okay.
That's great. Thank you so much, Robert.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Have a very
take care.
nice evening.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.